What is the CBO Waste2Cash card program? Well, it's part of the CBO initiative, our nonprofit group. And what I decided to do was that once we start rolling out our plastic to power waste collection centers, which each will have a tropical reef cafe as explained elsewhere, the goal is to create an incentive for the members and participants to return their plastic waste items, the ones we've targeted, as well as their glass containers and their scrap tires and newsprint, to us and get compensated for doing that. It's not a lot of money, but in some cases, those plasticpreneurs who decide to leverage the benefit of our program, it's not inconceivable for some of them to make $10,000, $15,000, even $20,000 a month by collecting the waste from various other parties. For example, perhaps somebody wants to pick up the glass bottles and plastic waste from a hotel chain or a number of hotels on a local island beach. Well, we would pay them for bringing us their bulk plastic to us. Now, there are certain conditions to getting paid, but we primarily require that the plastic containers that we get are at least rinsed out and somewhat pre-sorted. Bags will be separate from the water bottles and milk cartons and so forth. But they come into the collection center, and then we weigh them and pay them per pounds, not only in point credits, which can be converted to cash via an ATM card that can be used anywhere, but also in sand dollars for every pound. So you kind of get a double dip effect. But the goal is to make it rewarding to no longer just throw everything in the trash, because everything that we want will have value. And by changing the mindset on a global scale that every plastic wrapper, every food bag or whatever has something of value in it, it makes it a lot more tangible and not only helps clean up the streets and the gutters. Unfortunately, I kind of refer to it as it's a whole new dumpster diver industry in the making here, because instead of just looking for aluminum cans or the glass bottles in states that have redemption value, we're actually providing a way for you to bring us the plastic that is commonly thrown away and not recycled. Let's face it, folks, we recycle 3 to 5% of anything that goes out. And although we like to believe and feel good about putting everything in our blue box, the reality is that the recyclers today simply cannot afford to sort for a profit this trash. And so in great many cases, it ends up in the landfill anyway, regardless of your intentions. We need to change that because our landfills are overflowing, certainly in island areas, but our landfills are overflowing, our oceans are getting 8 to 10 million metric tons of plastic waste a year into the oceans, and it's just absolutely out of control and needs to be addressed. And so we feel that the Waste2Cash program is the first step, maybe not the only step, by helping them make this trash a little bit more valuable so that the end users will at least consider it as that. And even if they don't want to provide the trash directly, perhaps somebody at a local church will have a drive where all the practitioners bring their plastic to the church then cashes it in for a fundraiser or a boat club or whatever. There's lots of ways that we can tailor the program to make it beneficial while we clean up our mess. We need to understand that in North America, let me just say that we can obtain approximately just over a gallon of fuel oil out of every 10 pounds of plastic waste. So when you consider this, in North America, and that is Mexico, the United States, and Canada, as our website shares some of these numbers with you, we generate close to $8 billion of fuel oil, or I should say we don't generate, but there's $8 billion worth of oil at $60 a barrel going into our landfills. And where's the outrage for that? You have an oil spill, everybody goes crazy. But here we're dumping oil technically into our landfills and oceans, and there's no outrage. So we need to create the outrage, but more importantly, we need to solve the problem. Waste2Cash is just one step in that, in addition to our waste collection centers, our My Sand Dollars program, and trying to change the mindset on a global scale. It's not going to happen overnight, but it is a good step in the right direction, and we hope you will share with us your opinion and join the program once we get started. And hopefully, within 5 years, we may have 2,000 to 3,000 waste collection centers scattered all over North America and the Caribbean, and that'll make a substantial difference in our waste management. So let's hope for that, and hopefully you'll support the Find Your Porpoise crowdfunder, and that'll be the first start in getting all these other initiatives going under the CBO initiative.